So I guess to really understand the Vikings, we need to start with where they came from, right? Scandinavia, say, 8th to 11th centuries.
Exactly. And you gotta picture it. It's beautiful, no doubt, fjords, forests, all that, but also really challenging.
Harsh.
Very harsh. The source really emphasizes those long winters, and critically, not a whole lot of land you could easily farm.
So survival was tough.
It demanded incredible resilience day in, day out. These people we end up calling Vikings, they started as farmers, hunters, fishers, skilled craftspeople. Life was tied to the seasons, the land, the sea.
And politically, not one big empire.
Oh no, not initially. More like a patchwork, really. Local areas, local chieftains holding power, decentralized.
Right, so scattered communities just trying to make ends meet in a difficult landscape. So what was it then? What was the spark that made some of them take to the seas and become, Vikings?
Well, the source points to a few key things coming together. There was definitely desperation building up in some places.
With population pressure.
Yeah, populations grew, and suddenly there just wasn't enough good land to go around. Plus, you had inheritance laws often favoring, say, the eldest son.
Leaving younger sons with not much.
Exactly. Very few options at home. So for some, it really was about survival, finding somewhere else.
But it wasn't just desperation, was it?
No, definitely not. There was huge ambition, too. The lure of wealth, of gaining honor and status you couldn't get back in your village, maybe escaping local squabbles or duties.
So the sea becomes this escape route.
It becomes this pathway. Yeah, an escape route, but also a road to, opportunity, maybe even freedom, destiny, you could say.
And you can't talk about that pathway without talking of the ships, the long ship, which I think we often just see as a weapon. But the source suggests it was way more than that.
Oh, absolutely. It was the engine, really, of the whole Viking age. The source calls them technical marvels, and they were.
How so?
Well, think about the design. Super sleek, light, but strong. And that shallow hull was key.
So they could go rivers.
Exactly. Shallow rivers, far inland, but also handle the open ocean. Fast under that single square sail gave them incredible versatility.
Meaning they could just appear almost anywhere.
Seemingly out of nowhere, yeah,
Okay.
and vanish just as quickly. But beyond the tech, these ships were symbolic, right?
Of possibility.
Yeah, possibility, ticket to the unknown. Getting on one took serious courage. Real risk involved. The source really brings that home. The danger, the storms. Lots of people who sailed off just never came back.
Which really underlines how strong those push and pull factors, the desperation, the ambition must have been. But, and this is crucial, isn't it? The source makes a big point that most Norse people actually stayed put.
Absolutely essential point. While some were off a Viking, as they might have said, the vast majority were back in Scandinavia. Life went on.